Hello and welcome to Shutter Snacks. We're your hosts, Alexandra and Kim, a couple of photographers with decades of experience between us. We're here to talk to you about all things weddings from a photography perspective, how to get ready for your wedding before, during, and what's going to happen with your photos after. Enjoy.
Oh yeah, I like it like that.
How are you?
I'm great. Nice to see you this morning. What are we talking about today?
Well, I thought we would talk about albums today, wedding albums. Surprisingly, really only a handful of my brides want wedding albums. I had a client the other day say, she did not want an album because she knew it was just going to sit in a drawer. But think about that for a minute.
I've heard this before, this argument.
I know, but where are your digital files going to end up? And yeah, you might look at your album maybe once every 2 years, once every 3 years, maybe. But, you are going to want to reminisce and remember your wedding day, of course. And if you don't have an album, what are you going to do? Scrounge up your digital files and look at them on your computer? That's not sexy. People want a book. Would you rather read a Kindle in a hammock or a book, a real book? I mean, there's just something sexy about a book.
Well, and I mean, even I agree, it's super sexy. But I mean, just also so accessible too. And to carry around with you when you go to see your families at Christmas time and over the holidays, and what works for you today will be different tomorrow.
Well, and that's the other thing. Technology changes. I used to give my couples a CD of their images.
Right.
Nobody has CD players anymore. The only thing that's archival that will be passed down for generations and generations is an album. You've been designing albums for a really long time.
I have.
It tells a story of a day. It's a book about your wedding day. In this busy world, people think maybe they're going to do their own album, but they don't. And there are no good consumer albums. So
it's so true. I mean, the reason I put that book together for my dad was because they'd had years now of vacation footage that, again, as we're saying, was kind of lost to the sands of time. And I was tired of hearing his wife talk about how she wanted them in a collection. So I just put it together for them.
And what company did you use?
It was Shutterfly. It was like a
pixely, real pixely.
Like a very pixelated, bad color. The book itself was nice because that part is mass produced. And then they just overlay your images into those pages that they've already produced. So the book was nice, but my God, I was embarrassed, honestly, to give this book to my dad.
I'm wondering why you even did that when you have access to professional albums.
I wanted something cheap. I thought I wanted this money savings, Kim. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling this story now to tell people of my mistake and regret.
They're not good.
Embarrassing.
You need a really good quality coffee table flush mount album that's designed by the photographer that was actually at your wedding. We use a software and you can request any changes you want. You just click this button down here. You might hate everything about the album. You might just want 1 or 2 pages changed. I think you designed this album, Alexandra.
Well, I designed it first. And then this is the album that the couple and I created together once she made her changes. So yeah. I don't think this is necessarily
what you initially designed.
What I initially designed.
Yeah. And it's really easy to proof with this online system. You can see where the crease is. And then we choose our cover, and we have so many different options, but we have these kind of books here. We have these books with photo covers that wrap from the front to the back. This is a nice book with a beautiful box. I love albums with storage boxes. This is a beautiful
I do
leather album.
too. I do too. It really, I have so many books on my shelves and I'm perpetually dusting and have really noticed how everything degrades with time, but by putting a protective cover on anything, it improves its lifespan noticeably.
Yeah. So the inside of the book is relatively the same from album company to album company. The covers are quite different usually. So there are lots of different choices on that. But I wasn't an album person when I first started shooting because I thought, oh, what a pain. They don't need that. They can just do it themselves. They can't. They don't. Realistically, people just get busy. They kind of think they want to. They just don't. I mean, I've been wanting, I photographed my daughter's senior photos. I've been wanting to put something on the wall. It's been months and months and I just forgot about it.
A photographer's album is never finished. It's like, a carpenter's house is never finished, is the saying. Um, I know, Kim. Recently, I was at a friend's house and she puts together lots of albums, apparently, and there were a number in a pile on her coffee table.
Mm.
And I grabbed my cup of coffee and sat and was chatting with her. And without even thinking, I started picking up and thumbing through these books. And I felt like I learned so much about my friend that day. And when I finished looking at that album, I went ahead and I picked up the next one. And it
Mhm.
was so much fun.
Yeah, albums will never go out of style.
They really
Books
won't.
will never
Oh
go
my
out.
gosh. Oh, and tell them what your now 18-year-old daughter said to you recently.
18-year-old girl says she'd much rather read a book than read something online or on her phone or on a tablet. Much rather read a book. That was huge and powerful because she's 18 years old living in a digital world. I'm
I
telling you.
mean, yeah, fully immersed in it. I go to her to teach me about new social media and like what's cool now, what's going
Right.
on,
But she'd rather
Morgan
read a
told
book.
me. It's one of the most important parts. I mean, we know how much our couples pour themselves into this day. I mean, we're there. So we see all of the details and we talk to them in advance. So we are familiar with all of the moving parts and all of the different other wedding professionals who are involved in their days. It's so much. It's so much. You go
There's wedding
through
invitations, centerpieces,
rings,
jewelry,
all
rings.
of the details. Oh
A lot
gosh,
of those reception details you're never going to see again,
definitely.
except in your album.
It's worth paying for. Pay a pro to have it done and printed professionally.
It's pretty important. It really is. I Life goes quickly, and you need something to pass down. Come on. My parents don't have a wedding album.
No.
I don't know. I mean, they've got a couple pictures in a scrapbook, I think,
Yep. Yep.
at the very least. But it would have been fun to see everybody there and see who their guests were, see
And
them cutting the cake,
oh my
see them
gosh,
dancing.
definitely.
Definitely do it. If you haven't done an album, do one. Contact us. We'll make it.
Do it.
Especially
Do it.
because it's winter time and we don't have a lot going on right now. Let's make our albums. Come on. Think about the future generations. Let's do it.
Well, I think that covers albums for today, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all so much for coming and watching our show, Shutter Snacks. We're your hosts, Alexandra with Alexandra Chapman Photography.
And Kim with Kim Chapman Photography.
See our show notes below for more details about where you can find us and contact details.
Like it like that.